Okay, this is first live, and we're going to try to invite someone, so just bear with me. There we Okay, I think we're doing this. Hi, can you hear me? I have no clue. I wonder how I can invite you on here. Add as a moderator. Confirm. I wonder how we can. Michaela, can you join me on here? I have no clue how we're going to do this. Oh, okay. Cancel. Oh, we're going to figure this out. Hold on. Okay. Did we do it? Hi,
Yay!
we
We
did it.
did it. Oh my gosh. I was like, I don't know why it won't let me request, and then it did. So we are ready to rock.
Oh my, I felt like such a boomer there. I feel like,
It's okay. We'll learn. We'll learn together. We'll
I
learn
know.
together.
Seriously. How are you today?
I'm great. We got our little coffee. We're ready to rock. Maggie just went down for a nap, so we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
It's a good day to have a good day, I guess.
I know. I know. So, just as a background, so I'm a mom of four, a physician, and doing all fourth trimester stuff. And you're a mom of one in the postpartum. My oldest,
Yes.
my youngest is 11, so it's been 11 years since I've gone through the whole process, and you are actively in the
It
postpartum period.
it
And
has
a
been
nurse
a
and a
wild
TRP.
ride.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Emergency room and pediatrics. So we dabble in it all. So
What's one thing that you didn't anticipate?
postpartum, I would say the hormone crash.
Mhm.
Honestly, everyone kept telling me like, okay, you're gonna have this hormone crash and blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, it can't be worse than anything I went through during the pregnancy because I literally, and my husband can vouch for this, sobbed every single night in the shower, like just over anything and everything. The worst panic attacks of my life. Like I haven't had panic attacks like that since I was like 16 and just started a new school. And then nope, it definitely can get worse. It definitely can get worse. So, um that was wild. Just the over amounting feelings, like the happy, the sad, the mad, the I literally remember sitting actually right here on this couch cushion, looking at my mom and saying, I don't think I can be a mom. I don't know why I did this.
Mhm. Can I add the science behind it? Because I love adding science behind it because
Please.
I hate that it's always a women's issue. Like it drives me insane.
Yep.
So here's the science behind it. So when in conception, when we conceive, we have two hormones that are regulatory, progesterone and estrogen. Everybody's kind of heard of it. Progesterone is a hormone that you need to maintain that pregnancy. So from conception to the time you deliver, so 40 weeks, it goes from a level of 40 to 320. So 8 times rise. Okay, so an 8 times rise. Most of this hormone comes from the placenta. Okay, so here's my question. So now it took us 10 to have this steady rise, right? When do you, joining us, comment below, when do you think that it goes back to baseline? Like when would you anticipate it would go back to baseline?
I guess I would assume maybe when the placenta's out, right? Because you don't have that like that, literally that organ that your body grows anymore.
And when does a placenta come out?
Like
Right?
literally immediately after birth.
Right. So people always, when I ask these questions, I'm so glad you picked up on that because everybody will say 6 months, a year, 3 months. And it's like, no, this is why we have this hormonal crash is because most of us come from the placenta. And the reason for it is because we have to remove the progesterone in order for prolactin to happen. And prolactin is a hormone that allows us to breastfeed. So that is the reason. That is why it's like how it goes, and then the prolactin can kind of come up. Prolactin starts coming up at, early third trimester, but it's suppressed because of the progesterone. And then you have to have this switch.
Okay. And that
It's
switches the
crazy.
placenta leaving your body.
Yeah.
That's actually wild. I would say, like, truthfully, though, I didn't. Like, I was maybe postpartum, maybe day 4, 5, and 6 when it hit. But I also, like, barely remember, like, my birth or the hospital stay. Like, I mean, after the traumatic delivery of it all, like, I feel like my brain just kind of shut off and was just in go mode until we got home. And then I was home for like 24 hours. And that's when, like, I think my body was like, okay, you're not in fight or flight mode anymore. And it just like, a brick wall doesn't even begin to describe how I was feeling.
Yeah. It is so when like understanding the science and then you can start as new mothers say, oh, this is happening to me, not because of me.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then that mind shift is just unreal.
That's, I wish I would have had that sentence to look back on during that because I thought it was me. Like ever, right? I mean, they're my hormones. It's my body, my brain. I thought it literally was like a me problem, if that makes sense.
Oh, of
So
course.
that was, yeah. I don't think anyone can ever prepare you for that. But I think knowing, and like my brain works that way, and like knowing the science behind why that happens will help me in my next pregnancy and hormone crash to just kind of level it out.
Yep. I think the other thing is that from the science perspective, also, I mean, the FDA just approved, actually 2 years ago, approved an analog of for progesterone to help moms in postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety and all of that stuff. So when we can, that's what I was saying, we have to start continuing the conversation in the fourth trimester because it's not just, I always say it's our right to get support and help, but it also forces the medical community, that being research, that being science, to actually look at, okay, we always say it's a hormonal crash, but what's the science behind it? Why do we have that?
Yeah.
So then you push more. It's just not us coming to be like, oh, I'm postpartum, It's
Yeah.
like
No,
so
absolutely. Absolutely. And the percentage of PPD and PPA is like huge, huge. I mean, I don't
and
know. Do you know the exact number? I don't know the exact number,
I
but
mean,
I know
it's 1 in 6 and 1 in 8. I actually did a whole TikTok video on a 10-minute video on explaining that part of it too, because here's the thing that people don't tell you is that you have to have that emotional liability. That not like you have to have the ups and downs.
yes.
And the reason you have to have the ups and downs, because see, this is I love this. I love how I transitioned into this world because my background is also anthropology, and so I love the evolutionary take on this as well because that's
Mhm.
where I got my degree in. And the reason you have to have those emotions ups and downs is because you have to be emotionally present for your baby and you have to protect them. And so you have to have the anxiousness of everything you're doing is wrong. You have to be sad about, like, oh my God, did I do a right thing or a wrong thing? Because if you didn't have that, then you'd be stoic and you wouldn't respond to the cries. You wouldn't like, you wouldn't now as a new mom now that your baby's a little older. I bet every single time she cries, you know which cry that is for.
Oh, it's actually wild. And my mom told me that. She was Michaela, you will know Beans cries, whether she is hungry, whether she's mad, whether she's hurt. The first time we heard her actual hurt cry when she got her vaccines was like both my husband and I just looked at each other and like almost started crying because it was a cry we'd never heard. Never heard. Whether she's hungry or fussy, or now we just started like this whole like I'm uncomfortable teething, like this not cry but not a whine kind of in between. It's actually wild how you can just close your eyes and I can see the face she's making. I know exactly what limb she's moving at doing this. I know
Mhm.
what face she's making. It it's actually crazy. It's crazy. But I guess I never really thought about the literally the biological factors about how we have to be ingrained to respond to that. Because if not, then we would just be like a robot.
And so when we talk about the fact that, you know, when we are screening you guys for the postpartum, like the PHQ-9 or the Edinburgh depression, I wish we can change this narrative. It's not dismissing those emotions that you guys are having because we do have intrusive thoughts in the fourth trimester. We do have, I mean, I had it. I was like, I want to walk away. Or, I could take this knife and do something harmful to myself. And then you get so scared, but those are fleeting, but no one tells you that those thoughts are real. And you have to have that ups and downs for it. One minute you're joyful, the other minute you are crying because you
Mhm.
bought the wrong outfit or like it's that part of it. So when we're screening you guys, it's literally screening you guys to make sure that, and we do it in 2 weeks increments. If you guys realize that we do it
Yeah.
in 2 week increments because these emotions and the hormonal stuff is kind of just the wave part of it, right? Um, but we're not asking you not to have those thoughts. We're just making sure that when you do have those thoughts, that is there support that you need? Is there things that you need that we are missing? So
I think
that's it.
that's so, 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 so important to say. And I think it should be told to moms before we even screen them because I myself was like, oh my God, if I put yes, like, am I a bad mom? Are they gonna like put me in a psychiatric hospital? I mean, what is gonna happen? I will be 110% honest and say I was not 100% truthful on that thing because I didn't know. I was like, oh my God, if I put yes, like, is my pediatrician gonna think I'm crazy? Like, am I not gonna be able to take care of my baby? Like, this can't be normal. I'll never forget the first night I woke up. This was probably maybe 2 weeks postpartum. And we had had a really rough night. And at like 3 a.m., I remember thinking, like, I could just get up and leave right now and never come back. I would just leave my baby and my husband. And like, I literally remember thinking that. And then I bawled my eyes out in the morning and told Tyler, I was like, what kind of mom am I if I literally was willing to get up and leave? Like, how can that even be? That's just so like wrong on so many levels.
Right. But
So I
it's not
think,
wrong on an evolutionary level because
yeah,
you have to have, like, you literally have to be that bag of emotions. Like, it's,
that's actually wild. Now, is there a correlation between your milk coming in, right? Because your prolactin helps you produce that milk and the
Mhm.
hormone drop, or is it kind of different, would you say, for everyone? Because I know, some people, like my milk took almost a week to come in. And I feel like that correlated with, and this could again just be me at riding that fight or flight mode. But like I felt like once my milk fully came in is when like shit hit the fan.
Yeah. So kind of thing. So your delayed prolactin could be for multiple reasons. It could be, most common reasons are IV fluids. So if women get IV fluids, it delays lactogenesis. You're like, yes, that's my, that was it.
Yep.
You know, so that is one of the most common reasons that you do delayed lactogenesis for that part of it. Um, and then with the prolactin coming in, like you said, prolactin is starting to. So what you're describing as your milk coming in is going from colostrum to transitional milk.
Yeah.
So that's where the different colors, where you're just the colostrum, we call it liquid gold, because the reason we call it liquid gold, it's full of immunoglobulins.
Yes.
So formula does have a role in all of this. However, I don't think we'll ever, well, I would say never, but those immunoglobulins are baby specific, which is kind of really, really
It's
cool.
it's it was crazy to me. I remember learning about again, people are like, "Oh my God, you're an emergency room nurse or pediatric nurse. How did you not know
Yeah.
this?" There's a million and one things that you don't know. Um, and I remember learning that like your baby's saliva, when you latch, your body responds to what your baby needs at that moment. And your milk is forever changing, which is mind blowing. Like mind blowing that our body knows what to make for our baby before we even know what our baby needs or can tell us what they need.
It's customized milk. It's individually customized milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's from, so my background is NICU, and we did this whole stuff with the NICU, but that's where a lot of this research is coming from, because preterm milk has a lot more sodium and chloride as term milk because they need it for growth and length growth, as compared, because they miss the third trimester, they miss the iron, they miss the
Same.
extra things.
Yeah.
So preterm milk is even, I mean, that's where the research, we found that, oh, it's literally specialized for babies, even if you're preterm or term. Isn't that kind of cool?
Wow.
Yeah.
That
It's
that is actually crazy. I had no idea. No idea about that.
And the other part of the hormones that, everybody talks about the golden hour, right? Where it's like, but everybody always looks at it from the perspective of initiating breast milk and initiating that aspect of it. But you are, like you mentioned, you're in flight right at that moment, because you have to deliver a child, regardless of how you deliver. Like, I hate getting into those kind of things, because every woman's choice is their own choice. And so whatever they need, but regardless of how you deliver, your nervous system is whoa high. Okay. And when you put that baby on your chest, it's trying to like bring that nervous system back down. That's why you have the shakes. That's why it's the regulatory aspect that is happening, because it's not just doing skin feeding part of it, right? That's not what's not happening, but it's to kind of calm yourself down. And so in a hospital setting, there's a lot of check boxes that are happening. So you're still on that like higher level of, oh my God, I need to make these check boxes. I need to make my babies fine. We have the newborn screen, we have the hearing test, we have the congenital hearing stuff, and 24 hours of jaundice, right? People don't really explain jaundice. Well, there's so much science behind that one too, right? So, but you're checking those out. And then when you come home the next day or two, that's when you crash also, because you've just been at this level
That and
the whole
that's
time.
that's, I feel like what happened because we were in the hospital for 4 days. I mean, the whole delivery story is for another time, but I would love to share that and anyone can pop in and ask questions about that. But that would make so much sense. And I truthfully, I remember them putting her on my chest and then taking her away because again, shit hit the fan. And I remember like day 2 of the hospital. Like I don't even remember the golden hour. Legitimately. I can like put bits and pieces there, but like, and maybe that comes from the 4.5 hours of pushing and traumatic labor. But like that, I do remember the shakes though. That was wild, absolutely wild, and that makes so much sense that like putting it literally just physically touching your baby, your body is trying to come back down from where you were to get that baby out. So
And then another hormone, like you said, like, you're going to learn from me. I love science because it's oxytocin that's being released because the
yeah,
minute the baby latches is oxytocin, and oxytocin we know is a love hormone.
yes,
And so that's that battle of kind of bringing your body down. And that's why I advocate for the platinum hour for dads also. So have you heard of the platinum hour?
I have not. I would love to hear this, please.
Yeah, so the platinum hour is an hour, like, so the moms usually get the golden hour, which is to initiate breastfeeding, and now it's also to bring our hormones down and the
Yeah,
bonding and stuff. So once everything is just a little bit more settled, because we are delaying the bath, because do you know why we delay the bath?
I did not. I
Oh
do
my God,
not.
this I love science. So we delay the bath because there was an amazing study that showed us that a newborn baby can find their moms by their smell. And the smell is from the amniotic things, and so it's on their hands. So we don't want to be, particularly even if we have a baby that we have to resuscitate in whatever form or support them, we're really careful of not wiping their hands because their hands has the smell of the moms, and then the babies will find the mothers based on that. So that's why we delay the bath. Is
Oh
that
my
cool?
gosh.
It's so awesome. Like this whole
That
world is
that's
awesome.
mind blowing. Wow.
I'm gonna just sit here and
Wow.
let you process that for a second.
No, no. I
Thank
feel like
you.
I'm having a brain blast right now. That's actually that's actually crazy and amazing and so insane. And now does that correlate with like the postpartum body odor so that the baby
Mhm.
can literally smell you wherever you are? Because swear to God, someone could smell me across the grocery store.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, and estrogen has to do with that too. So we'll get that. But really quickly on the platinum hour, because the dads are also having this high intensity, right? They're watching their wives deliver. They're anticipating being a new dad and everything. So I really advocate. So if they need to, as a particularly from the view from a hospital, if they need to get the weight in just to get the EMR and stuff like that, but after that to have an hour of where dads just do skin to skin, and that also releases oxytocin in their brain. It enforces more of this bonding that happens. We see it again from the NICU where we do kangaroo care, and you can see the baby's vital signs in real time start kind of going down and becoming more at peace because of the skin to skin. And that happens with moms and dads as well. So I always do the golden hour and then the platinum hour. So yeah, that's my couple of my rules.
Now, is the kangaroo, I'm assuming, like literally like when you put the baby inside
It's skin
your
to
shirts
skin.
and
Yeah.
everything? Okay.
Yeah. It's the
Okay.
same. We just call it kangaroo care because why not? But it's the
Because
same
it's a little
idea.
kangaroo in your little
It is a little kangaroo.
clothing pouch.
Yeah.
That's wild that you can just see. Oh,
Hmm.
hello, kitty.
Yeah.
That you can see that come down in real
Real time.
time.
Hmm. Like the baby's vitals will start going down, their heart rate starts going, their regulatory, they start breathing regulatory as well. When you breathe on your baby, when you're doing that, you're releasing CO2. CO2 is because remember, newborns are immature in every aspect when they come
Yes.
out. So one of the things that is the respiratory center, when you breathe on your baby, that CO2 goes to the respiratory center and stimulates them to breathe also. So you're teaching them how to breathe when you're holding them too. Isn't that wild? Like I told you, I love the science behind all of this.
I can sit and listen to this for hours, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Oh my
So
gosh.
that's where the golden hour, the platinum hour. And then one thing, because we did start talking about this, about the postpartum stuff as well, is that if there's when you're a professional woman, okay, what happens is that we've been trained to check off a lot of boxes in our lives, right? Like even from
Mhm.
nursing school, right? So you are any professional, business, nursing, anytime you're a professional woman, you are taught to check off boxes. You are said, okay, if I do X amount of stuff, I'm going to be tested. And when I get tested, I can go to the next level, right? That's how we've been ingrained as professional women. And so it's very jarring when you come into the postpartum period that, and this is case in point, I've had everything happen postpartum too, but I was just checking off boxes, but I wasn't connecting with my world at all.
Mhm.
Like I wasn't depressed, I wasn't sad, I was sleeping fine, but I was literally just checking off boxes. And when you're a professional woman, I change the tune of how I talk to them because I want to know if they're checking off just boxes because we're so ingrained to checking off boxes, you know?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and oh,
Yeah.
so we talked a lot about, the symptoms, the science, but and just wanted to end our live with prevention and how you kind of do it because you can't avoid some of the science behind it and you can't avoid some of these things.
Like you said, it's
So,
literally biological.
yeah,
Like it's going to happen no matter what. Just like the sun is going to come up and come down every day.
yeah. And I'll tell you what I tell my patients, and then you tell me like what you did to help yourself too.
Okay.
Okay. So, what I tell them, first of all, the first week, eat whatever you want because we forget that, when we look at breastfeeding and stuff, it's 400 calories extra, but you just delivered a baby. And regardless of how you delivered it, right, you have muscles that have been torn. So, you need extra calories for that. So we really harp on you guys's water intake, but we forget to tell you about nutrition and
Yeah.
say you just actually need to eat everything under the sun if you want to. And then there are instances where you don't want to eat. So I always say, my go-to is healthy nuts if no one's allergic in the family to nuts, is that you have to feed your baby or nurse your baby or pump or whatever fashion you are. And this is for formula fed babies too. This is for both. Like I'm not exclusively saying it,
Yeah.
is you do that about 8 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. So my go-to is always almonds. Take 4 almonds every single time and just eat them, right? Even if you don't want to, it's only four. But in a 24-hour period, you've gotten 40 on an average, 40 almonds. And then boom, you've already elevated your nutrition without even thinking about it.
And you've got the healthy fats and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Interesting. You're right. It's
Yeah.
just 4 almonds. Like you can eat four almonds.
Yeah. And that's on top of hopefully you're getting your meals and your snacks and all of
Yes.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just don't want to eat, you know?
That I can definitely I remember the two ends of the spectrum, right? One being so hungry I could literally eat a horse, and then
Hmm.
being so exhausted and so tired that I wanted nothing to do with food. I just wanted to sleep. But I was also like, no, I have to eat. If I don't eat, I'm gonna drop my milk supply, which is that's a whole
Yeah.
other fear mongering that like I was dove into. Like if I don't eat at all, this is if I miss one meal, I'm gonna drop, which is again not realistic, but that's what my brain told me at the time.
Yeah.
So that is I will forever keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So,
And then the other thing is vitamin D. We're all vitamin D deficient. So even
especially
if,
in upstate New York.
yes, yes. I mean, here even too in Denver because we're so afraid of the sun because it's so
Mhm.
intense, right? So vitamin D, even if you're just formula feeding, you have to have 2000 I use as a baseline, like as a baseline. If you are nursing and breastfeeding, I know we do the vitamin D drops, but I actually just want to up mom's vitamin D because then she doesn't have to think about giving it to her baby.
Yeah.
So that's above like 6,400 to 8,000.
Wow.
So if you just up that, vitamin D is also shown for mental health protection. So that's also really good. And also it helps protect these, like, you feel like an old woman when you're postpartum, everything is cracking,
Yeah.
everything is creaking. So it helps with, supporting of your skeletal muscle as well. So vitamin D on a baseline 2000, even if you're not planning to nourish or you're just exclusively formula feeding. If you are breastfeeding, please, 64,000 to 10,000 is totally that range because a lot of us are just vitamin D deficient. And then just like trying to go outside for like even 2 minutes just to breathe in fresh air and ground yourself like that. And it's 2 minutes. I'm not asking like you guys to go
Yeah.
and journal and stuff because, and those are like the practical ways that you can take a little bit more control. And then we can add on all the support and all of that stuff. But sometimes when you are insulted or all salted with all this hormonal crash, you feel like you don't have control. And so this
Absolutely.
way is like, okay, these are two basic things to kind of give yourself some control back.
Yeah. No, I remember thankfully we had our baby girl in the summer, so every night we would eat dinner out on our back deck and just sit there. And that was like just a very zen feeling to get out and sit in a lawn chair in my diaper and ice padsicle
Mhm.
and soak in as much sun as I could. So
Oh
that
my
was
God.
definitely one thing that
The
we
ice popsicles are, I mean, you can
did.
just like eat one and have one down there at the same time.
Literally, literally.
Oh.
So
So,
that was definitely a saving grace. And I don't remember who told me before I had her, but they said like whatever you do, get outside, even if it's just literally standing on your front porch and looking out, like get outside. So, and I even feel that now, especially in the winter. We bundled up and went for a walk the other day in like 20-degree weather because I was like, it was sunny. It's like, I just need to feel sunshine and fresh air right now. So that is always definitely a plus.
so, I mean, it is a beautiful time, but this is one thing I do want to impart on people is that you have the right to get support in whatever support ways you feels good for yourself.
Hmm.
And you have the right to know what's happening to your body. You have the right to know that you can have some control. And yeah, there's a lot of science. And I think we could spend the whole day talking about this
No, literally,
science.
I 100% agree, and I think it's very empowering too to know this stuff. I mean, this just goes back to like, remember in high school when we had to write like an essay about knowledge is power? Like, this is what we're talking about. Knowledge is power in this
Yeah.
situation. So
I think
definitely.
we should just end with Naya, since this is the reason that brought us together
Yes.
itself.
Yes.
So I think I will just quickly start off with like literally we were texting and you're like, you I got the same advice from the chat that you are just telling
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
But take that away.
It was so if you all don't know about Naya, you definitely need to go watch my videos on my page and visit this page. But it was this chatbot created by Dr. Patel here. Um, and it is amazing. Think of it like Chat GPT, but like for postpartum moms and babies and anything and everything you could ask these people. And right, this isn't coming from Google. This is coming from a board certified pediatrician, NICU, fourth trimester specialist. So Google will tell you two extremes, right? And as a new mom, you do not need to be Googling anything because we don't sleep as it is. So this chatbot you make, it's free. It will always be free, because everyone deserves to have postpartum support. And I think that's one of the things that you were coming from, is you were saying, like, no matter how big this gets, it's going to be huge. It will always be free for anyone who needs it, because we need these resources. So you make a profile for your baby, you put in a little bit of information, and you can have breastfeeding tips, you can have questions, you can have anything. But recently I had mastitis again, and I was like, okay, well, I need to know what to do because guidelines are forever changing, right? And I have people telling me X, Y, and Z, but other people telling me this. So I went straight to the source and I said, diagnosed with mastitis on my right breast. What am I supposed to do? And it came out a list of everything, of the updated guidelines. And I was chatting with Dr. Patel the other day and talking about my mastitis, and the exact thing that the chatbot spit out was exactly what she told me verbatim from her mouth. It
Yeah.
was it was incredible. It was incredible. So any postpartum moms or moms to be, please, please, please go make yourself a profile and just check it out for yourself, because I literally talk to Naya every single day. Every single day. Which is wild.
Well, that makes warms my heart that you found so much, like, because yes, it's science backed vetted information, like just we did with this live. Like, I love explaining the science behind stuff because I just so tired of saying that it's a woman's issue because it's more beyond that, and it doesn't mean everything can be explained, but definitely you're just more empowered to be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is what's happening. So yes,
Yeah.
it's always going to be free on our website, always, because like you mentioned, it is. I wish I had this knowledge. I wish I had this type of like, oh, now I can take it back. And one of the comments, I think it was actually on one of your videos, and I didn't even realize this, that came up to it, was like, this was a really great resource for those moms that are afraid to ask these questions because, like we talked about
I remember
before,
seeing that comment. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And
A
that kind
lot
of
of us
blew,
aren't truthful about it. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Or if I ask this question, I should know these answers.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Am I a bad mom if I ask this question? If I ask
Mhm.
this question, what else are they going to think I don't know? Yeah.
Right.
And you just simply, you don't know what you don't know.
And you don't know much either because, it's like, like, and each one of them was different.
Th-
Each, so,
I could also talk about that for days on end, about
yeah,
how everyone says each pregnancy, each baby, everything is completely different.
yeah.
So
Well, this is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. And
this
when
is
after we
so,
figured it out.
yeah. Well, now we know how to do it for next week. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
look forward to this. And for people that don't know, come back. I believe we're gonna do this weekly or monthly. What did we decide on?
Whatever you want to do. I am game for everything and anything because I love these conversations. So,
Me too. Me
so
too.
yeah. Let's do it next week too.
Okay.
Let's start doing it weekly and then we'll see where
Perfect.
life takes us and just kind of, talking about everything through both perspectives. So,
I love it. Okay,
all right.
great.
Okay. All right. I think we should just click off. I think that's what we're supposed to do.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. All right. Bye.
Bye.